Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're continuing in Proverbs, and this is Proverbs chapter 3, again from the New Living Translation. So we're just gonna jump in and start at verse 1. So it says, "My child, never forget the things I have taught you. Store my commandments in your heart." Again, with this keeping in storage, storing up. Why do we do this? Well, in current society, we do things like we store our money in a bank. Well, why? Well, that's so when the robbers and looters come, if they come, there's no money to be found in the house. You can't plunder this thing, so we store it up. But this is even more. This is store my commandments. It's put them deep within you in a safe place that can't be ripped away from you. If you do this, you will live many years and your life will be satisfying. So this is, for coders, this is like an if-then statement. If you do this, then this will happen. Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Kind of like back in chapter 1 where it says, your father put them around your neck like a chain. So keep this tied around your neck. This is tied back to Solomon, the father, writing this to him. Write them deep within your heart. So again, writing it down is committing it to memory, and once it's committed to memory, you can store it somewhere close by so that you'll never forget these things that Solomon is telling his son, and then later gets passed down to us. Then you will find favor with both God and people, and you will earn a good reputation. Kind of like the husband of the prosperous wife, who he's prominent in the community. He has a good reputation. When we see him, he's sitting outside the city gate with the other prominent members of the community. He's found right standing in favor with God because, well, I mean, obviously he has a good and prosperous wife, and that's part of finding that favor with God is, she helps him through that. And he's got a good reputation with the men because here he is sitting outside the city gate with the other prominent members, elders of the community, in a seat of prominence. So Solomon is saying here that if his son will keep the commands, then he'll have favor with God and have a good reputation in the community. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you the path to take. The path that leads to wisdom? I would dare say so. It's the path that leads to wisdom. Where was I? Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. So, whatever you think you know, it's probably not the case unless it's been revealed to you by God Himself. Seek His will. Maybe that's Jeremiah. trust in the Lord that He has a plan for your life, and that plan will lead you to the path that takes you to wisdom. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Then you will have healing for your body and strength for your bones. So again, that's the two-path theory, right? Like, this path, if you're tuned in and you're listening to the will of God, takes you to wisdom. This path is the evil path, and the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And maybe you go down that path with good intentions, and where you wind up is hell. Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the best parts of everything you produce. Then He will fill your barns with grain, and your vats will overflow with good wine. So let's read those two again. Honor the Lord with your wealth. Meaning what? What was wealth then? Like, so 9 and 10. Honor the Lord with your wealth and the best part of everything you produce. Then He will fill your barns with grain, and your vats will overflow with good wine. Be good stewards with your money, with your time, with your talents. Be good stewards with the things that God has provided to you, and it will be a blessing. This is the Cain and Abel story, right? Abel brings his very best in reverence and respect and awe of God. He brings his best, and he brings it with the best of attitudes. And God receives that offering well, and He doesn't with Cain's. Well, it's unclear from the text if it was Cain's attitude about bringing the offering, or Cain's offering that was subpar, like as in Isaiah, where the sacrifices become not pleasing to God any longer because it's either their attitude or their sacrifices are subpar, or it's both. But here we see that, honor the Lord with your wealth and with the best part of everything you produce. So it's to be good stewards of what God has already blessed you with. My child, don't reject the Lord's discipline, and don't be upset when He corrects you. This is good for all of us to know, as well as our children. When you receive a fair criticism or a rebuke or discipline or correction from God, don't take it so negatively. Bring that into your being, into your worldview, and ask yourself hard questions about it, especially when it comes from God, the discipline, because He's going to correct you. For the Lord corrects those He loves. This is true, just as a father corrects a child in whom he delights. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Don't be so adverse to your child that you don't discipline them, whatever that discipline looks like, depending on what's been done. Joyful is the person who finds wisdom, which, if we go back to 1, it's knowledge that brings joy. So we see that knowledge and wisdom are closely aligned with one another, tied together, so to speak. The one who gains understanding, who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding. For wisdom is more profitable than silver, and her wages are better than gold. Wisdom is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her. She offers you long life in her right hand and riches and honor in her left. She will guide you down delightful paths. All her ways are satisfying. Wisdom is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Happy are those who hold her tightly. Now this wisdom is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Happy are those who hold her tightly. This one, this is so good because it goes back to the garden story and what the serpent offers, which is knowledge, right? So we have the one tree that's the knowledge of good and evil. And then we have the other tree, which is the tree of life, right? Well, this tree of life seems to, in this verse, contain wisdom. So what Adam and Eve received was like this flood of knowledge, but no discernment about what to do about the fact that evil exists. And yet this other tree has the wisdom, right? But it's also the tree in the garden is also the tree of life, which God has to not let them eat from, because if they, well, I don't want to say has to, but he doesn't let them eat from it because then they would never encounter physical death. And they would suffer in torment of sin for a physical eternity. And that doesn't necessarily seem like, maybe they deserved it, maybe they didn't, but God in his wisdom said, no, I'm not going to do that to them. But I found that verse quite interesting because wisdom is tightly aligned with the tree of life. By wisdom the Lord founded the earth. By understanding he created the heavens. By his knowledge the deep fountains of the earth burst forth, and the dew settles beneath the night sky. My child, don't lose sight of common sense and discernment. Again, wisdom and discernment seem like they're interchangeable here. Hang on to them, for they will refresh your soul. They are like jewels on a necklace. Again, with this chain or necklace around the neck. They keep you safe on your way, and your feet will not stumble. You can go to bed without fear. You will lie down and sleep soundly. You need not be afraid of sudden disaster. This idea of storing something up to stave off the disaster that could head your way. Kind of reflects back to being a good steward with things. You know, you store some things up so that when disaster strikes, not only are you not left without, but that you have enough so that your neighbors who may have not done the same, you can be good stewards with that and give to them according to any help that they might need, and not in some communist way, but that you can of your own volition give to them if, say, they either didn't store up enough or did not have the means to store up enough. For the Lord is your security. He will keep your foot from being caught in a trap. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it's in your power to help them. If you can help your neighbor now, don't say, come back tomorrow and then I'll help you. No, it's if you can help your neighbor now, just do it now. Like, that's being a good steward of your time. Don't plot harm against your neighbor, for those who live nearby trust you. Don't pick a fight without reason, when no one has done you harm. Don't envy violent people or copy their ways. Such wicked people are detestable to the Lord, but he offers his friendship to the godly. The Lord curses the house of the wicked, but blesses the home of the upright. The Lord mocks the mockers, but is gracious to the humble. The wise inherit honor, but fools are put to shame. So, I think if I had to pick a theme for Proverbs 3 here, and it's dense, but if I had to pick a theme for it, I would say it's take these things and store them up and write them down, and don't let wisdom, don't think that it's something that's too far out of grasp. When you get a little bit of it, when you get a little bit of discernment, write it down, keep it with you. Maybe you physically write it down, maybe you put it in a notebook that you keep close by, something, so that these things don't slip away from you. Maybe you record it and put it on YouTube. It's just somewhere that's close by so that you always have it. And I would say, for me, that's the theme of Proverbs 3. So that's all I have for this one, guys. Proverbs 4 will be coming up in the next day or so. Let me know what you think about it, either in the comments or reach out to me on Discord. Thanks for watching, guys.